Alrighty, you are now watching. Hi. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, you can't even see it? Does that help or hurt? That's probably. Hey, welcome to another edition of This is a Brand New Show. I want to kind of get into Game of Thrones. I've been listening to the audiobook while I've been practicing this here keyboard. As I'm listening to the story, a couple of things are popping up that I feel some type of way about. So I guess I'll call this video A Song of Ice and Fire Does Not the Game of Thrones Make. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read a fantasy book since like Dark Lord of Darkholme. So it's been a minute, y'all. I don't know if there's things in this book that are really outstanding for the genre or not. I know in the TV show there were some outstanding moments for TV shows, so I, kind of wonder where the line is. So you cats who read a lot more, I know you both too, kids, you guys read fantasy. Am I tripping? Let me know if I'm tripping or not. But anyway, let me get into my little points here. Point the first, all the best lines are in the TV show. As I'm reading through it, and I'm sorry, mind you, I'm only 2.5 books in, right? I'm on freaking 21 chapter of A Storm of Swords. Yes, I'm so A Storm of Swords. I'm reading when they go to the Vale, right? In the first book, Game of Thrones, and these Tyrion's up there going to the Vale. I'm waiting for Bronn to be all like,
give me 10 good men and some climbing spikes. I'll impregnate the bitch.
And he doesn't say it. And I was like, okay. And then he's doing the whole thing, and he's doing this freaking, what do you call that? When you confess to crimes? Yeah, his confession. And I'm waiting for him to say,
I once brought a jackass and a honeycomb into a brothel.
It's just not there. So I'm like, hold up, man. Like, why are all these iconic lines not in the book? And also, like, some really iconic scenes are just straight up not there. Like, my favorite scene is when Cersei and Littlefinger are in the courtyard and they're nice to each other, talking about where's the Stark girl, little Miss Arya. And then Littlefinger talks a little bit too slick out the side of his neck and
seize him. Cut his throat. Stop. Wait. I've changed my mind. Let him go.
That scene is such a great example of how power and influence actually work between people. I mean, it's kind of like being on the internet. Most people on Twitter wouldn't say half the things that they would say if they were in front of someone in real life. I'm a little bit upset that those scenes aren't in there. I mean, I can go on with the amount of scenes that aren't in there. I found out that the chaos of the ladder speech isn't in there. Now I'm kind of like, why am I reading this book? Maybe I should move on. Point number 2, other cool thing in the books, it's not in the show, Tyrion's battles. So far in the books I've read, Tyrion's been in 2 battles and a skirmish. And he's kind of proven himself to be something of a warrior. Like, he's kind of fearsome out there. And it's really awesome the kind of development that it gives his character. And I think I know why it wasn't in the TV show, because I know they had the budget to put Peter Dinklage on a dang horse and have him ride around with that demon helmet. That would have been sick. But I think for the sake of Tyrion's likability, it might have made Tyrion look too good on this show, because he already physically looks attractive on the show. In the book, he's described as much uglier, and when you first see him, it's a lot easier to dislike the character. Before you see him, you're like, oh, this is the bad guy. And then he starts behaving like a bad guy, and you're like, oh, this guy's a really good bad guy. And then you're like, oh, I kind of like this bad guy because he's really, really good at what he does. But he doesn't stop being the bad guy for a long time. Not until the second book is he like somewhat sympathetic. So not so much in the TV show. In the TV show, you can get to like the guy right away. The other side of his story, his obsession with Tysha and Shay, it's a lot stronger in the book too. And you get more of a sense that he really can't tell when someone truly likes or dislikes him. This is where the big gripe with Shay, actually liking Tyrion for who he is in the TV show takes away from his character in the way that his obsession with Tysha is diminished and his turning into a darker character later is a little more difficult to grasp. The whole Tysha reveal is the whole thing. You can ask this guy for it. It's a pretty good story. There's another way that it affects him when she actually likes him is because one of the things that I see when Tyrion has trouble turning off his love instinct for Tysha, that is an example of him not being able to tell because he had already fallen for it once or so we're told in the story. And everyone else that he meets already doesn't like him, and usually he finds out if they do like him it's for his money or power or something of that nature. That's a real big important part of the story. The fact that
You should have known she was a whore.
so it's easier to be sympathetic to him because you can tell really no one likes him, and the fact that someone shows him some affection is enough for him to be like, it must be real, right? Because he wants it to be real. He can't really tell the difference between fake love and real love because he hasn't had enough real love. Only one. So, good old Tyrion. So the other thing in the story that, as I was listening to it, it really was bothering me for a while was the intensity of the determinism in the story. By determinism is the philosophy where there is no dodging fate. Free will has nothing to do with how your life plays out. That's kind of a big deal in the books. It's like you can't escape your blood. Forget about who you are. What you are is more important. Everyone who's of noble birth is fit for rule, but like honestly fit for rule somehow. Every Stark is a honorable idiot. Every Lannister is a cunning snake, and every Targaryen's a crazy person. And that's because of their blood. It doesn't matter what they become or where they live. It's all about the blood that runs through their veins. And so I first was bothered by that when I read it, but then at the same time, this is a world where the seasons can last for years, so I kind of just popped that in with the whole fantasy thing. If it can be a fantasy with how the world works, then it can be a fantasy with how the people are. Just let it be what it is. The other thing, I guess this is my last point, and this is something that I really, really love that I don't think was pushed in the TV show, but I love about the books, is that all the gods are real, and they're all playing the game just one level above the humans. And I really dug that. In the show, it was more like the Lord of Light is the one that matters, but in the book, like, they're all playing the game. Once you go north of the wall, the new gods ain't hearing you, only the old gods do, because that's their territory. The drowned god drowns the patch face and he gets kind of like out there. Onion Knight is stranded on the freaking rock and he prays to the mother and the mother talks back to him. It's cool to see that play out. I was kind of afraid. I kind of was expecting it to just be like the show where only the Lord of Light was alive or something. Dang, that's all I got. Because really, I'm only freaking 2.5 books in, and I'll be damned if I do a breakdown of that. That's freaking too many storylines. I need a freaking graph, Venn diagram or something. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. That's my rendition of Two Leaves in the Breeze. Okay, kids, take care. I'll see you next time. I just had to make a video. Bye.
For the watch. For the watch. For the watch.
Hi, Brian. I'm the boring storyline of the fat guy that's watching that girl.
And I'm Ballers. Ow! I totally get it. You're right to do this.